Hey, this is Katie McMullen from Social Work 663, and this is my group activity that I'm going to present to you. It is a quick or simple activity called Color Your Heart, and it is designed to use with teens in a grief support group setting. So as an overview, the target age or developmental stage is really 12 years plus. So really targeting the teens, young, it's appropriate for young teens, um, really all the way through adulthood. And it's primarily targeting those in identity versus role confusion. The focal issue is grief processing. And the goals are pretty simple: exploring feelings, recognizing changes in feelings related to healing, embracing contradictory feelings, and recognizing that you can be, that it's totally okay to be both sad and relieved, for example, at the same time. Um, and then understanding the similarities and differences in the ways that we all grieve. And then for evaluation, it's really going to be evaluating the individual to see if their level of comfort in expressing their experiences around grief um, have improved, and then exploring their ability to hold kind of contradictory feelings at the same time and recognize that that is totally normal and okay. So the supplies that are needed, really simple. The concentric heart picture, which is at the top, it's the top picture here. This is really easy to draw yourself. So particularly if you have younger kids that you're working with, they may have fun drawing the hearts themselves. And then the color code sheet, which is down below. Crayons or markers. And in this example, they used black, green, red, purple, and gold. But again, it's easy if you have a supply of other colors, you can easily adjust. You just want to give everybody the same colors. And then pens or pencils. The pens or pencils are not absolutely necessary. You certainly can use crayons, but particularly for older kids or young adults, they may want to make notes in the different color areas. And so I find pens or pencils helpful in that respect. So the activity is really simple. The first step, you want to give everybody a copy of the concentric heart picture, or you can have everybody draw concentric hearts, whichever way you prefer to do it. And then you also want to hand out a copy of the descriptions or suggested descriptions for each of the colors. You then want to invite each of the group members to read, or whichever group members want to read out loud. Have them read the suggested meaning for colors, and then color and label their own hearts in a meaningful way. Like I said before, when I've done this, um, older children and young adults have wanted to kind of write beside the colors in addition to coloring. I would say usually the coloring and note-taking part, I usually give about 15 minutes. I've had groups that have gotten done really quickly, far less than 15 minutes, and I've had a few groups that have taken more than 15 minutes. Once everybody has completed their hearts, each group member should be invited to share their hearts with the group. I always encourage participants to talk about where they are in their grief journey, and how this is depicted in their heart. I also always emphasize that grief isn't linear, and that it's normal to kind of move between the colors. One of the beauties of doing this activity in a group setting is that it allows young people, they're almost always participants in different stages of grief as well as different lengths of time since their loss. And it allows, particularly those for whom the loss is really new, to see that healing is possible and that um, things do tend to get better. And then once everybody has that wants to, and I don't force people to share, typically once one person starts, though everybody else has it joins in. And then once everybody that wants to share has had a chance to share, then it's up to the facilitator to help point out the ways that grief is that the process of grief are both similar and unique, and this to each individual, and to normalize that. There are some ways that some variations that you can do on this. If you have a lot of time, and a group that's particularly creative, encourage them to come up with their own definitions for colors. This helps this helps the youth process on a deeper level their experiences and bring their own, kind of make their own connections and ties. It can also facilitate good conversations as they're coming up together with what the meaning of the different colors are. And then this activity can pretty easily be adapted for use with individuals or with families, um, if that is the capacity that you're working. Typically, when I do individuals, I will, or use this with individuals, I will also do the activity um, to kind of to help normalize the process of grieving, because I think that that is the way that this activity is most effective, is to help people, is to help young people understand, one, that grief is normal. Two, that it's okay to move between um, different phases of grief, that that is all part of healing and that that is totally normal, and that you can feel more than one thing. You can feel positive and negative emotions at the same time, and that is totally normal. And sometimes it's helpful for them to see that from another person or another perspective. That is all I have. Thank you so much, and I hope that this is helpful. I will be attaching the handout in the class Blackboard section, and please let me know if you have any questions.